So pilgrims with devout complaints frequent the graves of martyred saints, inscribe their worth in artless lines, and in their stead embrace their shrines. Footnote 1, created Baron Nugent and Viscount Clare Dec. 20. Is God. On the Drapier by Dr. Duncan. 1. Undone by fools at home, abroad by knaves, the Isle of Saints became the land of slaves, trembling beneath her proud oppressor's hand. But when thy reason thundered through the land, then all the public spirit breathed in thee, and all except the sons of guilt were free. Blessed Isle, blessed patriot, ever glorious strife, you gave her freedom as she gave you life. Thus Cato fought whom Brutus carped well, and with those rights for which you stand he fell. Footnote 1, see the translation of Carberii Rups in Val, IP 143, in the Select Poetical Works of Dr. Duncan, published at Dublin in 1770, are 4 well-chosen compliments to the Dean on his birthday, and a very humorous poetical advertisement for a copy of Virgil Travesty, which at the Dean's request Dr. Duncan had much corrected, and afterwards lost. After offering a small reward to whoever will restore it, he adds, or if when this book shall be offered to sale, any printer will stop it, the bard will not fail to make over the issues and profits accruing from thence to the printer for his care in so doing, provided he first to the poet will send it, that where it is wrong he may alter and mend it. N. Epitaph proposed for Dr. Swift, 1745. Hic jacet. Democritives Eleni Rablisivs Noster. Ionathan Swift, STP, H5's Cathedralis en V per decams. Momi MV Sarvum Minervi, Alvums Perkvam Dalctivis. Insvals eyes Hippocrates Theomaches Ivxter Exosvs. Qvas Tribvdim SVMMO CVM Lepor. Derissit Denvdavit Debelavit. Patrii infelicis patroms impiger, et propugnator. Primorza ripvit, papfulvm vinteritives. VNI silicet equus vertfti. Henk favelum. CQvis ades, nec penitives excors vitver. Debita sparges lacrima. Epigram on 2 great men, 1754. 2 geniuses, 1 age and nation grace. Pride of our isles and boast of human race. Great sage, great bard, supreme in knowledge born. The world to mend, enlighten and adorn. Truth on Cimmerian darkness pours the day. Wit drives in smiles the gloom of minds away. Ye kindred sons on high, ye glorious spheres. Whom have ye seen in twice 3,000 years? Whom have ye seen like these of mortal birth? Though Archimede and Horace bless the earth, barbarians from th equator to the poles. Hark, reason calls, wisdom awakes your souls. Ye regions, ignorant of Walpole's name. Ye climes, where kings shall ne'er extend their fame. Where men miscalled, God's image have defaced. Their form belied and human shape disgraced. Ye 2-legged wolves, slaves, superstition's sons. Lords, soldiers, holy Vandals, modern Huns. Boors, muftis, monks in Russia, Turkey, Spain. Who does not know Sir Isaac and the Dean? To the memory of Dr. Swift, when wasteful death has closed the poet's eyes, and low in earth his mortal essence lies, when the bright flame that once his breast inspired has to its first, its noblest seat retired, all worthy minds whom love of merit sways should shade from slander his respected bays, and bid that fame his useful labours won, pure and untainted through all ages run. Envy's a fiend all excellence pursues, but mostly poets favoured by the muse, who wins the laurel sacred verse bestows, makes all who fail in like attempts his foes. No puny wit of malice can complain, the thorn is theirs who most applauses gain. Whatever gifts or graces heaven designed to raise man's genius or enrich his mind, were Swift's to boast, alike his merits claim, the statesman's knowledge and the poet's flame, the patriot's honour zealous to defend, his country's rights and faithful to the end. The sound divine whose charities displayed, he more by virtue than by forms was swayed. Temperate at board and frugal of his store, which he but spared to make his bounties more. The generous friend whose heart alike caressed, the friend triumphant or the friend distressed, who could unpained another's merit spy, nor view a rival's fame with jaundiced eye. Humane to all, his love was unconfined, and in its scope embraced all humankind. Sharp not malicious was his charming wit, and less to anger than reform he writ. Whatever rancour his productions showed, from scorn of vice and folly only, he thought that fools were an invidious race, and held no measures with the vain or base. Virtue so clear, who labours to destroy, shall find the charge can but himself annoy. The slanderous theft to his own breast recoils, who seeks renown from injured merit spoils. All hearts unite, and heaven with man conspires, to guard those virtues she herself admires. O sacred bard, once hers but now no more, whose loss for ever Ireland must deplore. No earthly laurels needs thy happy brow, above the poets are thy honours now. Above the patriots, though a greater name, no temporal monarch for his crown can claim. From noble breasts if envy might ensue, thy death is all the brave can envy you. You died when merit to its fate resigned, saw scarce one friend to genius left behind, when shining parts did jealous hatred breed, and 'twas a crime in science to succeed, when ignorance spread her hateful mist around, and dunces only an acceptance found. What could such scenes in noble minds beget, but life with pain and talents with regret? Add that thy spirit from the world retired, ere hidden foes its further grief conspired. No treacherous friend did stories yet contrive, to blast the muse he flattered when a live one, or sordid printer, by his influence led, abused the fame that first bestowed him bread. Slanders so mean had he whose nicer ear abhorred all scandal, but survived to hear. The fraudful tale had stronger scorn supplied, and he at length with more disdain had died. But since detraction is the portion here, of all who virtuous durst or great appear, and the free soul no true existence gains, while earthly particles its flight restrains, the greatest favour grimful death can show, is with swift dart to expedite the blow. So thought the Dean, who, anxious for his fate, sighed for release and deemed the blessing late. And sure if virtuous souls, life's travail past, enjoy as churchmen teach, repose at last, there's cause to think a mind so firmly good, who vice so long and lawless power withstood, has reached the limits of that peaceful shore, where knaves molest and tyrants awe no more. These blissful seats the pious but attain, where incorrupt, immortal spirits reign. There his own Parnell strikes the living lyre, and Pope harmonious joins the tuneful choir. His Stella too, no more to forms confined, for heavenly beings all are of a kind, unites with his the treasures of her mind, with warmer friendships bids their bosoms glow, nor dreads the rage of vulgar tongues below. Such pleasing hope the tranquil breast enjoys, whose inward peace no conscious crime annoys, while guilty minds irresolute appear, and doubt a state their vices needs must fear. R.T.B. End. Dublin Nav. 4, 1755. Footnote 1. Compare the Earl of Orrery's verses to Swift on his birthday, Vol. I. 228, with his remarks on the life and writings of Swift and C. Post p. 406. The next line refers to Faulkner W.E.B. A schoolboy's theme. The following lines were enclosed in a letter from Mr. Pulteney, afterwards Earl of Bath, to Swift, in which he says, "You must give me leave to add to my letter a copy of verses at the end of a declamation made by a boy at Westminster School on this theme, Ridentum dicer, verum quid vetat." dulce decin decus, flows optime gentes hiberni. Nomen quic audis ingenio exceller. Dum lepido indulges risu, et mutaris in horrors. Quer nova vis animi materiesque rapit. Nunc gravis astrologus, silo dominaris et astris. Philac pro libitu patrigiana secas. Nunc populo speciosa hasps miracula promis. Gentesque equorias acriasque crias. Su plausum captet queruli persona draperi. Su levis evacuo tabula sumptacado. Mores egregius maera exprimis art magister. Et vitam at homines pagina quic sapit. Socratici minor est vis et sapientia charti. Nec tantum partuit grand platinis opus. Verses on the Battle of the Books by Mr. James Sterling, of the county of Meath. While the Dean with more wit than man ever wanted, or than heaven to any man else ever granted, endeavours to prove how the ancients in knowledge have excelled our adepts of each modern college, how by heroes of old our chiefs are surpassed, in each useful science, true learning and taste, while thus he behaves with more courage than manners, and fights for the foe, deserting our banners, while Bentley and Wotton our champions he foils, and wants neither Temple's assistance nor Boyle's, in spite of his learning, fine reasons and style. Would you think it, he favours our cause all the while. We raise by his conquest our glory the higher, and from our defeat to a triumph aspire. Our great brother modern, the boast of our days, unconscious has gained for our party the bays. St. James's old authors, so famed on each shelf, are vanquished by what he has written himself. On Dr. Swift's leaving his estate to idiots. Swift, wondrous genius, bright intelligence, pities the orphans, idiots' want of sense, and rich in supernumerary pelf, adopts posterity unlike himself, to one great individual wits confined. Such eunuchs never propagate their kind. Thus nature's prodigies bestow the gifts of fortune, their descendants are no Swifts. When did prime statesman, for a sceptre fit, his ministerial successor beget? No age, no state, no world can hope to see two Swifts or Walpoles in one family. On several petty pieces lately published against Dean Swift, now deaf and infirm, thy mortal part, ingenious Swift, must die. Thy fame shall reach beyond mortality. How puny whirlings joy at thy decline, thou darling offspring of the tuneful nine. The noble lion thus, as vigour passes, the fable tells us, is abused by asses. On Faulkner's edition of Swift, ornamented with an engraving of the Dean by virtue, in a little dark room at the back of his shop, where poets and scribes have dined on a chop. Poor Faulkner sate musing alone thus of late. 2 volumes are done, it is time for the plate. Yes, time to be sure, but on whom shall I call to express the great Swift in a compass so small? Faith, virtue shall do it, I'm pleased at the thought. Be the cost what it will, the copper is bought. Apollo Orherd, who, as some people guess, had a hand in the work and corrected the press. And pleased he replied, honest George, you are right. The thought was my own, howsoe'er you came by't. For though both the wit and the style is my gift, 'tis virtue alone can design us a Swift. Epigram, on Lord Orrery's remarks on Swift's life and writings. A sore disease this scribbling itch is. His lordship in his Pliny scene 1 turns Madam Pilkington in breeches, and now attacks our patriot Dean. What, libel his friend when laid in ground? Nay, good sir, you may spare your hints. His parallel at last is found. For what he writes George Faulkner Prince had Swift provoked to this behaviour, yet after death resentment cools. Sure his last act bespoke his favour. He built an hospital for fools. Footnote 1. Lord Orrery translated the letters of the younger Pliny Scott to Dr. Delany on his book entitled Observations on Lord Orrery's Remarks. Delany, to escape your friend the Dean, and prove all false that Orrery had writ, You kindly own his Gulliver profane, yet make his puns and riddles sterling wit. But if for wrongs to Swift you would atone, and please the world, one way you may succeed. Collect Boyle's writings and your own, and serve them as you served the deed. Epigrams on Faulkner's displaying in his shop the Dean's bust in marble, now placed in the great aisle of St. Patrick's Church, while he was publishing Lord Orrery's remarks. Faulkner, for once you have some judgment shown, by representing Swift transformed to stone. For could he thy ingratitude have known, astonishment itself the work had done. An inscription intended for a compartment in Dr. Swift's monument, designed by Cunningham on College Green, Dublin. Say to the Drapier's vast unbounded fame, what added honours can the sculptor give? None, 'tis a sanction from the Drapier's name. Must bid the sculptor and his marble live. June 4, 1765. An epigram occasioned by the above inscription, which gave the Drapier birth two realms contend, and each asserts her poet patriot friend. Her mitre jealous Britain may deny, that loss Icon's laurel shall supply. Through life's low veil she grateful gave him bread, her vocal stones shall vindicate him dead. WBJNs